stream has started. Sorry about the black screen issue there. I'd forgotten to log into Steam itself, so when I went to start the game it said no, you don't have permission. How you doing? Nice to see you, the Diamond Chef 91. Thank you for joining me today. How are you today? This is the very, very first episode, and as much as I've tried to plan everything out and make sure it runs smoothly, I am almost certain something's going to go wrong today. At least one thing, at least one more thing, because I've already got the start wrong. So this is Farm Sim 17. What I'm going to do here, let me just explain for those of you who don't know, because not everybody watches the channel or knows what this is all about. We are going to be playing Farm Sim 17 in the most realistic combination of settings that's possible. So we're going to be doing a career on the Valley, the old farm. I'm going to delete this one. I've been doing some tests and practice. So we're going to delete that now. Create a brand new one. We'll be playing on hard. There's a lot of the old farm type maps, aren't there? Nearly clicked on about 4 then. Right. The Valley, the old farm. We'll just go as is. That looks pretty good. So the important mods are, let me see here. Courseplay, obviously. I'm not going to be doing a lot of that at the moment because I need to get some practice on that. I haven't had time. A placeable Christmas tree, obviously that's important when we get to Christmas. But seriously, we've got crop destruction, tire dirt, ground response. We've got the gearbox add-on. I absolutely love this add-on. There's two the more realistic game engine and more realistic gameplay mods. That makes the tractors and everything behave more realistically. And then Seasons mod being the key one here. So Seasons mod is just to prove how much I am trying to do this realistically. I've even got, look at this, pencil and paper. So I'll be making notes on each day. I've got each day here. So this is the planner, which obviously is blank at the moment because I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. And this is the history page. So every time I do something, I'm going to make a note of it, and hopefully then I can track and keep things running smoothly, organised, and realistic. So this is the Seasons mod. If you haven't seen this before, this will indicate when and what we can plant throughout the seasons, which is just absolutely brilliant. Something that was totally missing in the game itself. God, I can't seem to get up to these arrows here. Here we've got a nice economy breakdown. What I like here, we're going to be focusing on wool for the first year at least. And you can see that wool is quite profitable in the first spring season. Summer, not so much. Autumn, nothing at all. Winter, it picks up again, which I assume is because... I don't know, actually. I'd have thought that winter would be the best selling, or maybe autumn would have been the best selling. I suppose it, because they get sheared before the summer, so it dips down. Yeah, okay, that kind of makes sense. And again, this is all the Seasons mod that makes all this available. We're going to be running at 24 days. Snow mode is on. Snow tracks are on. Crop moisture. Disallow threshing when crops are wet of moisture. That's on. So basically, whilst it's raining today, we can't do much. We're going to be going on Celsius because I'm British. Keys in help menu on. Yep, not sure what that is. Seasons introduction, I'm going to leave that on because I'm an absolute noob when it comes to seasons. I have been reading the manual, and if you haven't read the manual, definitely go check that out. It's pretty spectacular. Oh, it's snowing. Well, I wasn't expecting that. We're going to have some tunes in the cars, but nowhere else. I've bound all these buttons to stuff, and I just cannot remember what's what, but I think this is radio. No. That one. Okay, cool. So, yeah, we're going to have to set up... Right, we're going to have to set up the gears on each tractor as we get into it for the first time. Auto clutch off. Start with this button. Whoa! Seems like we instantly went into gear. It's supposed to be in neutral. So in the top right hand corner, I don't know if you can see it by my wing mirror there, that's what the gears are doing. So we've got, if I come out of neutral, you can see we've got high and low gears, and then we've got 1, 2, 3 and 4 for each of those. That's just this tractor. Every tractor is different. So if I go to the shop, we can have a look in the garage. We've got this New Holland Agriculture 8340, which is it's not bad, it does the job. We've got the case that I've shown you. We've got this front loader, which is currently attached to this universal bucket. We've got a JCB up in the hayloft, which is cool. I'll show you that. We've got a bale fork. We've got the 1660 axial flow. I'm not planning on doing any agricultural farming just yet. I'm just going to harvest grass and get the sheep up and running so that we've got money coming in. That's the plan, at least. I don't know how well that's going to work out. We've got this transport tipper. We've got this cultivator, this plough, this seeder. Actually, it's the seeder which the tractors struggle to pull. We've got this fertilizer spreader, so hopefully the sheep will be assisting us there. And oh, that's a manure spreader as well. I didn't realise we had that. We've got a lizard somewhere. I don't know where the hell that is. I haven't even seen that. And we've got this karcher for cleaning. That's basically it. But obviously you may have noticed what we don't have. It's weird that my steering is fully... Hey, no worries, man. No worries at all. Drop in and drop out as much as you like. And you're hosting me. That's cool. Nobody's ever hosted me before. Thank you, buddy. So, yeah, we're going to go to the shop. And, oh, actually, I'm going to drop this front loader off. And we're going to go to the shop because we're going to need to pick up some stuff. Water, we're going to need... Well, actually, I was going to pick up a mower so that we can mow some grass and feed the sheep, but actually that's not going to be necessary because it's snowing, so I don't think we're going to be able to mow the grass. Now, this, by the way, is the realism mod. Trying to get up this very steep hill in this very low-powered tractor, we will struggle, and if we've got anything on the back, we're really going to struggle. It's also very easy to tip a tractor if you're not being careful. So I'm sure we'll have loads of incidents throughout the series where I roll a tractor and then have to fix it back up. That's the forestry area. We'll probably be heading in there at Christmas, as soon as there's not much we can do on the fields. We can take a loan, and again, Seasons Mod, I didn't even see that car. That was terrible driving. Seasons Mod, again, changes the amount that you can get in a loan. So, I think it's limited to 80% of your current farm value. So, I don't know how much that's going to give us, but it should be enough to do a few bits at least. To get the ball rolling until we got the sheep making some money. Let's just park up here. So, we'll come down the gears, into neutral, handbrake on, engine off. And then 360 controller to jump out. That's going to be the process for as long as I can remember it. Okay, now there is something in here that's specific to Seasons Mod, and it's really important. The Whoopster. Using a measurement tool, you can get information on the soil, the trees, the bales, and other objects. For me, this is absolutely critical because I have literally no experience with Seasons Mod. Am I starting with just sheep? For the beginning, yes. If things progress quickly enough, if we're making a decent amount of profit, then I can expand into other things. But sheep is where I want to focus, because sheep only need water and grass doesn't need ploughing, seeding, etc, etc, etc. So to start, I think that's the easiest way for me to get myself back into Farm Sim 17. Bearing in mind, I haven't played this game since it came out. I was so... When Farm Sim 17 came out and it had a train in it, I kind of flipped a bit, and I didn't want to play the game ever. So I really haven't played since it came out for that reason. But the Seasons mod and the Realism mod make this game worth playing, in my humble opinion. Plus other mods as well, not just those two. But yeah, to start with, I'm going to go with sheep until I get back in the flow of playing Farm Sim 17, and also streaming as well. I've got multiple cameras set up, I've got lights, I've got backgrounds, I've got loads and loads of stuff that I've got to think about, as well as playing the game. So yeah, to begin with, I'm just going to go with sheep because it's a bit easier on me. But hopefully it'll still be entertaining. Obviously, we're playing at 15 times speed, so we are a lot of people I see play on 1 times speed, so they've just got all the time in the world to sort of field out, whereas I'm going to have to be paying attention to the weather, the temperatures, the seasons, the time limitations, the light restrictions. There's a lot. This is going to be very difficult, I think, especially for a noob like myself. But this device here, this Whopster, should help us a huge amount. Now, we've only got 15,000 in the bank, so we're going to very, very quickly be short on cash. But I think that's a necessary purchase. So I'm going to start by buying one of those. What I don't know, scroll the mouse wheel or press 1 or 2 on the keyboard to switch chainsaws. What? Or is that where it is on the chainsaws? Okay. I'm also going to grab a tow bar. So already we're down to 10,000. Now, one thing we definitely do need is water, or a way to transport water. Is that a water tank? Tanks transport liquids. So I'm guessing that's a water tank. Oh yeah, water. Good. Not sure what that is. We'll go with that, I think. We've got just enough money. I think that should be close enough. Out of reverse gear, handbrake on. Let's go neutral. Excellent. Right, now, what am I going to do with this thing? What's the pickup key? I can't remember. A. Okay, right. Now, I don't know if this is going to work, but... oh, crikey. Seriously? I can flip a tractor with this thing? That seems a bit silly. Drop. Flipping hell. How heavy is that? Gotta be careful. Could I attach the tow bar to the tank? That's a good question. Now, whilst we're here, I'd quite like to just park up a minute. So up here is the bank, and I think we're going to need to take a loan out, aren't we? So let's see what the bank are willing to give us here. So that's 200,000 borrowed. Which gives us a current balance of £100,000. Okay. Excellent. So we now have cash. Oh, crikey, nearly got run over. So we now have cash, and that does mean that we'll be able to buy some sheep, some equipment, and depending on how easily we can manage the sheep, we can think about other things, other options. So, handbrake off, we're in manual gear, and off we go. So over here on the right, that is our pig farming area. I haven't even looked into doing that yet. I've never actually tried the pig farming on FS17, so that could be an interesting experience. Right, now I'm going to go flat out down this hill, because there's a very good chance we won't make it up the other side. 26 miles per hour. Go on, girl. 22, 18, 10, 2. Oh, crikey. Yep. Okay. Handbrake on. We're going to have to go down into the lower gears. Let's try HL1. Are the mods on the Steam Workshop? Well, I think, although don't quote me on this because I'll have to check and get back to you, but I think all of the mods I'm using on this are available via Giant's website. So if you go into FS17 and go to the mods option in-game, you should be able to get all the mods I'm using today from there. I don't think there are any mods that I'm using today that you can't get directly from there. But I will have to check and get back to you on that next week when I do the next stream, because I could be wrong. I could have got that slightly wrong. I'm just trying to think where is a good place to drop this tow bar. Somewhere out of the way that I'm not going to lose it. Next to the harvester. It's not something I'm expecting we'll need to use very often. There it goes. The reason why I've bought a water tank is because I want to make sure we've got both food and water for the sheep before we buy any sheep. There is an issue, or there is a limitation, that in Seasons mod any food or water you put down only lasts for 3 days. So I mean that's going to mean that we're going to be very busy a lot of the time just getting food and water for the sheep. So I want to make sure that we're in a good position to do that before we start getting any sheep. I suppose technically, if I were to do it properly, I would actually get out and do it. Oh, I don't think you can. Oh, you can't. You wouldn't be able to do it externally. You have to be in the tractor. Well, that's interesting. I didn't know that. So I'm going to run this water up to the sheep's field, fill that up, and then we need to start thinking about which field are we going to get grass from. And obviously we haven't got enough money to hire workers, so is this an update? I'm sure there was a tree in the middle there before. Yeah, so we're going to have to do everything ourselves to start with until we got a bit of cash in. Struggling up here. Go on, girl. Just about. Just about. Oh, this is cool as well. Let me show you this before we go anywhere else. Oh, crikey. Neutral, handbrake on, jump out. So these silage pits here that you can see just over that wall can be loaded from the back. So you pull that lever, this raises up, and you can reverse up and drop it at this end, keeping it looking much neater and much tidier. I think that's really cool. Lots of awesome stuff. Unload, button 10. Okay, handbrake on, neutral, button 10. So that's this one, is it? Yes, it's doing it. The maximum capacity of the feeding trough suffices to feed the animals for 3 days. So that really didn't take, that took 3% of water, that's all. So we've got way more water than we could even possibly need. But that's good, because every 3 days we are going to have to top it up, so can I leave it? Can I leave it parked there? Oh, I love how I can't get up this hill. That is so much better than the default game. Drop down the gears, and we're good again. And there's not really any better place to put it, is there? So I think we'll probably go with that approach. I know Seasons Mod also has maintenance, so I'm not sure if leaving it outside is going to cause it to rust up a bit quicker or something like that. But to start with, I think we'll be okay. As long as it doesn't flip in snow again, like it did just now when we first started. Can't believe that. Hey buddy, how are you? How are you doing? Does anybody know how I get this front loader thing off? Because I can't get the front loading arm off the tractor until I've taken this flipping thing off the front. I thought it was button Q, but that doesn't seem to be working. Oh, I know what I need to do. I need to switch to that and then detach it. Or do I have to do it from inside? I think that did it. Yeah, that's disconnected now. So now I can detach the FZ30. Good, right, figured it out. Good stuff. Handbrake off, into reverse, and that is a job very well done. Out the way, chickens. Right, let's go to the shop and have a look at their mowers. So everything's been harvested. Every single field except for this one, which is cultivated. Is that one of ours? Does that mean it's ours if it's got a green number? I hope you guys can't... It is mine. Cool, thank you. I hope you guys can't hear my PC over there. It is vibrating like a lunatic. So is grass just permanently mowable? I don't know. Grass doesn't seem to show you its growth state, does it? Grass you can mow at any time unless you cut it. It takes a few days to grow. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay, that makes sense. So I think what we'll do then, guys, is we'll park up because there's no point hiring the mowers today because at midnight we'll have to pay again. At least that's how I understand it. We'll park up. We'll go and have a kip. There we go. Day one completed. What did we do in day one? We bought some stuff. We got some water. We learnt some things. It's not too bad. It's not all bad. Certainly isn't all bad. 7 o'clock at night for our first day. I think that's a day well done. It snowed in the morning. Don't know if you guys saw that. It snowed in the morning. And yeah, quite an eventful day. I wish this fire would work. That would be awesome if you could press a button and put the fire on. That would be lovely.